Hello, and welcome to the next episode of the Spirit and Soul Podcast. I am your host, Tiffany Cohen, and today we're going to talk all about herbs and all of these incredible things that vibrate at frequencies that we need in our energetic field and within our body. There are so many ways that you can really work with herbs. And I'm going to be honest with you, like, I'm not an expert on this. I'm not an herbalist, although maybe this is something in my future, but I am really fascinated and I really work with a lot of these different herbs and different minerals in my body, in my nutrition, and within the spiritual work that we do. Whenever we make any kind of, like our shop based things, like when Frank makes his oils or when Frank makes his candles, or whenever I make my manifesting jars, my intention jars. Those all have herbs within them. And there's a reason for that. So herbs are incredibly, incredibly powerful. And they've been used since ancient times. And there's so much magic around different herbs and how we can use them. So we have such incredible books at the shop. Like, if this is something you want to really dive deep into, that would be so amazing for you to use in your life. But I want to talk about different ways, like simple ways that you can start incorporating these things in that don't take a lot of, knowledge and for you to, know what each herb does. There's so many different companies that offer a lot of different things. And I want to start having you understand it a little bit more so that you can begin to incorporate these things into your life. So we know this, right? Everything is energy. Everything is energy. So if we know that, then we know that there are some things that vibrate at a lower, more dense frequency, and there are some things that vibrate at a much higher frequency. So taking this understanding, we can actually start to apply it to certain things in our lives, like, let's say, like the herb family, right? And we can start to feel into, what do the properties of this feel like to me, right? Everything is always, we can have a general understanding and a consensus on what something means. Like, let's say rosemary. Rosemary is really protective, right? There's a protective energy about it. And I may think that, and that may be the general understanding of it, but you may pick up rosemary and be like, you know what? Rosemary to me is really soft, and that's okay. There is no wrong here, but the general consensus I like to fall back into, because if a majority is feeling into it and feeling this in a certain way, chances are you may feel into it the same way. And if you don't, that's okay. So let's take rosemary, for example. There are so many different ways that you can use rosemary. So whenever I do anything protection based, I always include rosemary in it. So whether that's like a jar, or maybe I'm making like a little altar for protection, and I might use Frank's, St. Michael candle in it, and then put dried rosemary all around the altar as an extra layer of protection. So we can start to use these different dried herbs in the magical workings that we're doing, in the manifesting workings that we're doing. You can use like rose petals for love. That's another really great one. You can use basil for abundance and prosperity. Cinnamon for abundance and prosperity, also really protective as well. So you can use them in many, many different ways. Always use dried if you're ever working with any type of ingredient like this, or if you're working with, like, again, any kind of like you're putting something in a jar, or you're using it and making, like, topping candles with it and stuff. You don't want to use fresh herbs because they will get moldy if they're not dried. So you want to make sure that you dry them. You can take them like fresh. If you still have a garden going, you could take them from your garden and put them in like a 225, 250 oven for like a good hour, maybe longer, and make sure that there's just no moisture in it. Or you can hang them upside down if you follow our comfy abode, my friend Christiane, you can see that she always has herbs hanging in her gorgeous, like so cozy kitchen. So that's like definitely a great way that you can use it. But there's a lot of different things that you can do with them, work with them. And if you don't want to get involved in that, that's okay. We have a ton of products for you so that you don't have to do that, right? Like you can use Frank's leave that shit at the door powder for protection. You can use his money and love rice, which has things in it, like all different herbs besides just the rice. You can use, his candles, all of these different things, the oils, the sprays, all of that has some herb properties to it. Yeah, so like that's like a really, really great way to use it. That's a way that I use it. But then the biggest way, of course, that I'm using herbs is I'm using them in my daily life to ingest. What I was finding was that as I was going through my days and wearing all of my hats, I realized that I needed support. I needed more energetic support for myself. And I'm not talking like angelic support. I'm talking like my physical energy. I'm running a business. I have to be a leader and I have to be a healer. I have to hold space for a lot of people. And I'm a mom and I want to show up in the most present and powerful way possible as a mother. I'm a wife, right? So I want to show up as the best version of me in my relationship for my husband. I am a sister and I'm a daughter and I'm a friend and I want to show up in the best way possible in all of these roles with energy, right? Like, and I'm working on myself as well, always working on my own growth. So I need energy. I need vitality. And in order to do that, like I had to really look at my life over the past couple of years and look at what I was doing and what I was not doing and start to lean into those things if I wanted to grow, honestly. And that's kind of what I was feeling like, especially in 2024. This was a huge, huge focus for me was my nutrition and like the herbs and the supplements and all the things I was putting in my body. So for me, leaning into this, I leaned into this all year, and these are the findings that I came out with as far as what makes me feel really, really good. So, we're not really talking so much about food and all that stuff, but I just want to touch on this one thing because I do think that food is a huge part of it. Remember, everything is energy. So the things that we're putting in our body, they say you are what you eat. And I don't know if I agree with you are what you eat so much, but the energy of that is either going to lift you up or bring you down. Okay. Like energetically, it's going to have a lower vibration or a higher vibration. And for me, I found that eating more organic foods, like I had done Wild Fit by Eric Edmeades years ago, and the knowledge that I gained from that was incredible. And Eric, if you're not following him, please make sure that you're following Eric Edmeades. He's amazing. He's actually going to be on the podcast very soon. And he taught me so much about about the food industry, about like the things that you put in your body and really just being aware, right? It all comes down to awareness for anything in our lives, to be aware, to wake up from the hypnotic state that we are in and that we are told we should be in. So he taught me a lot about that. And one of the biggest things that I still continue to do to this day from Wild Fit is I have a green juice every single day. And that to me changes my day. When I don't have it, my body feels it. I feel very different. But what I started to do with that is because, you watch people. So if you're not following people that are like into these things, I suggest finding the people. A great one, I just mentioned Eric Edmeades, but another great one is my friend Erica Pulsinelli from Inhale Exhale. She talks a lot about, obviously she does, breath work, Kundalini breath work, but really what besides the breath work, what I was learning from her was like in her daily videos, she kind of like walks you through what she eats, what she has, and the different supplements and things that she uses in order to feel really good. So one of the things that she was using was from Sakara. And it was like this, I forget what it's called on their end, but it's like basically it's chlorophyll. And she was using it's called detox water by them, but it's like a mineral water. So you put it into water, but I don't follow that. I put it into my green juice and I put it into my smoothies. So I'm big, big, big smoothie fan. And I put these things into my green juice and I started to notice an even bigger difference. I started to notice that I was like retaining more. I felt like I was retaining more like nutrients, and I felt my body just felt different. And then I started to continue this, and I started drinking something called Magic Mind, because here's the deal. Like, I love myself a cup of coffee, and I know that when I'm not feeling my greatest, I know I'm usually drinking too much coffee. Like, I'm trying to supplement my energy with caffeine, and in particular with coffee. Cause like I could have a cup of tea and it's different, but coffee will do something different to me. And I love, love, love a good cup of coffee. So I notice when I'm drinking too much coffee, I am not feeling my best at all. My stomach doesn't feel right. I'm like, even just talking about it, I'm like tuning into like my belly, and like I'm like not, it's like almost like I'm not feeling good from even just the thought of too much coffee in my system. So from Victoria's song, had mentioned that she uses something called Magic Mind sometimes. And Magic Mind it's a great story. I would love to have this guy on the podcast, the founder, but he had come up with Magic Mind because he was drinking like something obscene, like 12 cups of coffee a day. My friend, if you're drinking 12 cups of coffee a day right now and you are listening to this, immediately stop. You have to find something different. Okay. Because what happened to him was the doctor basically said, if you continue on this path, you're actually on the path to a huge heart disease and you will die. So he decided that obviously he needed to make a shift, but he needed energy throughout the day. So what he came up with was this shot, and it's called Magic Mind, and it's filled with lots of great things like matcha and ashwagandha and L-theanine, and all these things are working together to really keep your mind focused and your body calm, which is amazing on what? The nervous system, right? So it's like having this open mind, but also feeling calm through the body, which most of us are not really feeling. So I started taking Magic Mind, drinking Magic Mind, and I even got Andrew on board, and he's drinking it. And we notice a difference when we don't drink Magic Mind. You just don't feel, my mind doesn't feel as focused. So all these herbs and everything that are in these different things I'm using are supporting what I need. And what I need is vitality and clarity. Those are the biggest, biggest, biggest things for me. Vitality, clarity. So like mental clarity. So now we start taking Magic Mind. And then I found these things because I know that shilajit is such an incredible mineral. So shilajit, don't quote me on this 100% because I just know, I'm like going off the top of my head here, but I know that it is like a grouping of minerals that is found in the Himalayan mountains, and it has been used since ancient times by like monks and all these like incredibly spiritual people, because it gives your body so much of what it needs and what it's missing. So I found this company called Mana, and Mana basically, like, you break open this package and for me, I mix it with iced tea. You can mix it with water, but like, good luck to you. Cause I'm not going to lie, while it is an amazing product, and again, another thing that I can't live without, it does not taste good. It doesn't. I mean, like, I see that they have on their ads, like it's always men drinking this stuff and they're like, it tastes like amber. I'm like, I no, and they're just drinking it straight from the pouch. No, thank you. However, it is so worth it. I drink it every single day. So like, even if it's not tasting good, I'm still taking if it's going to make me feel good. So that's another thing that I've added into my day, and I feel so good with that. And then to continue this and really dive deep into like the herbs themselves, I was watching Melissa Wood Tepperberg or Melissa Wood Health. You might follow, either one of them, but if you don't, definitely give her a follow. She's amazing. And I noticed that she was putting something called Happiness Tonic by Anima Mundi into her smoothies. And she was like, I swear by this. It's so good. So I was going to LA and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try out this product and like see what it's about. So I get to Anima Mundi because it was like 7 minutes from where I was staying. And I'm like, this place is incredible. And I'm walking around and I'm just in awe of all of the different herbs. Like they have a wall just filled with like all these different dried herbs. And you look to your right and there's just all of their products and their different things. And this is an apothecary. So they're making ingestible items that make you feel whatever or help to support whatever it is you need in your life. So I'm looking at all these products and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And as I'm looking around, the girl goes, oh, why don't you go outside to the tonic bar? And I'm like, what? So I go to the tonic bar and they made me a hot chocolate with like all these delicious things in it. They made me a butterfly pea lemonade and I'm sitting there drinking these things and I'm like, this is amazing. Like you can get everything that, you need in your body, whatever your body's craving or whatever, you want support in your life through all of these incredible herbs and flowers and all of these things that they are putting together. So I went back into the store and I basically bought out the entire store. Like I couldn't stop myself. I was buying things for the girls at the shop. Like I was just like, all right. So I got everybody happiness tonic. And I already felt a difference because it was in my hot chocolate, I think I want to say. And I was already feeling this difference. And it just feels like good, like calm. And what I'm going to say about the Anima Mundi products and all of these things that you're ingesting is this, especially more of like the tonic blends, right? Like the happiness blend, and they have a cold cocktail. Well, I think let's skip that one. They have like happiness tonic. They've got so many different like blends of things. Oh, they have like a mind one called Cerebrum, like all these different things that support you throughout your day in what you need. Now, the happiness, is it making you happy? No, like only you can make yourself happy. But what it's doing is it's making, because it's within your body and as you take it every day, like for the happiness tonic, I take it twice a day. As you're taking it, it makes the energy of these things readily available to you. So if you find yourself in a down state most of the day, having something like the happiness tonic and adding that into your coffee in the morning or whatever it might be, or your smoothies, anything like that is just going to make the energy readily available in your system and in your energetic field. So you have a choice. It's there. It's not like you have to reach high for it. So let me give you an example. If we think about like an emotion ladder or like a bad day ladder, okay? So like I want you to think of like you're having a bad day, and let's say that you're at like a 2 on a ladder of a 10, right? So you're at a 2 and you're like, damn, like I don't know, I really want to get out of this 2 mood because I hate feeling like this, I hate being like this. So maybe I'm not going to be able to hit a 10 today, but maybe I can hit like a 6. Like a 6 would feel better than a 2, right? So if you're just starting with nothing supportive in your energetic field and in your system, like you're not working with crystals, you're not doing anything that's supporting you, getting from a 2 to a 6 is actually going to be a lot of work for you. I think this is my belief. I mean, I think it's going to take a lot for you to jump from 2 to 6. However, you're working with crystals, you are taking your happiness tonic, and now suddenly the energy of happiness, the idea of it is already in your system. So going from a 2 to a 6 is so much easier because you don't have to work hard to find the energies within your body. They're already existing. You took your happiness tonic every day, and in fact you took it that day, and in fact you've been taking it every day, so it's like storing up in your body. That is how, to me, this works. Now, nobody ever explained it like this to me, but like in my mind and in my understanding of it, it just makes these energies readily available to you. So all of these tonics, like obviously I became like obsessed with it and I brought it into the shop. Like I talked to them right then and there. I'm like, I have a shop in New York and I think that it would be amazing to have your products there. And I had to go through this whole thing to get approved by them, and we did get approved, and now we carry them at the shop. And I'm so excited to be really exploring these things. So I want to give you some of my favorite things and things that have been helping me in my life, so that maybe they'll help you, or maybe you can, like, understand how to use these things in different ways. So my favorite, above all, my absolute favorite thing, Anima Mundi product, is the mushroom mocha milk. Oh my gosh, I crave this every single day. It tastes delicious. If you have to be a coconut lover, because there's coconut milk in it, it is dairy free, but it's a powder, and it's coconut milk, and it's got that mocha flavor, and it's got mushrooms in it, which I freaking hate mushrooms. I hate them, and you do not taste it at all. So in the morning, I will take my vanilla almond milk creamer. I use the Califia Farms one usually, and that one, the organic one. So it's got no gums, none of that stuff. And I use that in the morning. And then I put in the mocha milk, the mushroom mocha milk, and I put in the happiness tonic and a scoop of collagen. So that's what I put. And that's not by Anima Mundi. The one I use is Ancient Nutrition. So I use that and I put it in my frother, and it makes me a delicious froth for my coffee in the morning. And I'm telling you, I look forward to this coffee every single day. Like, even when I'm done with it, like later on, I'll just like think about that mushroom mocha milk and like all of that stuff that's in it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till tomorrow morning to have this coffee again. It's so good. And then and I'm going to be adding to that. I'm actually going to be trying something tomorrow, because I have their new product, which I haven't tried. Well, it's not new. It's new to me. It's called The Mind. So it's all about like getting clarity in the mind. Again, what are my goals and values right now? My goals and values are vitality and clarity. So this is going to add to the clarity. The happiness tonic adds to like the vitality, and obviously the coffee adds to the vitality. So those things I'm going to start mixing in. Now, I told you about my green juice already. And then I love, at least like 3 to 4 days a week, I usually make smoothies. I'm not really a big breakfast fan, so I will always make myself a smoothie. I'm going to say it right now. I make the best smoothie. I make the best smoothie in the world, just saying it. And the one that I make is so delicious. It's called the peanut butter PB&J smoothie, and no bananas in it. And in this, I have to say that because I am not a banana lover, and I'm finding that there's actually not. I thought I was the only person that hated bananas. However, there's so many people that don't like bananas, and bananas are in every smoothie when you go out anywhere. So sorry, side note, but that's what happens. So no bananas in this one. And what I add to this is crazy, like so many things, and it is delicious. So as far as the herbs go, besides like the frozen fruit and the things that I'm using, I always put in the Sakara Life, the 2 things from Sakara Life. So I get double duty whenever I have that from the green juice and the smoothie. And then I will put in the happiness tonic again. I put in butterfly pea flour, and it's the powder version of it. That's also by Anima Mundi, and we carry that at the shop as well. Butterfly pea flour is incredible for nervous system support. So nervous system support is so incredibly important, and it obviously goes along with everything that I talk about with spinal energetics, because what we're really stuck in life is an overwhelmed nervous system, which puts us into a stressed state. Like, we've had too many experiences that our nervous system couldn't handle, or we've witnessed so many things that our nervous system couldn't handle, that it puts us into a stressed state all the time. So you may not be stressed at work or stressed at home, but if you have a lot of trauma that has built up over time, this will continue to put you into a stress state every single day, all throughout the day. So having things that can support a healthier nervous system is incredibly important and powerful. So I love, love, love using the butterfly pea flour powder, and it turns everything blue or purple depending on what you're putting it in. So when you add it to lemonade, it makes it purple. It's so pretty. That was one of the things that I had at Anima Mundi at their tonic bar. And then, I brought it home and I put it in my smoothies, and the smoothies, it turns it this blue, like beautiful blue purpley color. It's so pretty. So That's an amazing way that you can get that nervous system support, especially if you're like working to heal it. If you are working to heal your nervous system, which we should all be doing, and you're like coming to spinal energetics and you're coming to the classes as we're starting to heal and like get through these things, you need that support throughout the day, so that it's not just when you're coming to spirit and soul to get a spinal. It's also when you could possibly be in a stressed state and your energy actually helps you to choose differently. Right. So that's why I think that's so important. So these are just some of the amazing products and like the different herbs and stuff that we have at the shop. We have so many more as we're exploring these new things. So we have the colds cocktail, really great for this time of year. If you're listening in real time, it's like we're getting into fall, it's like deep into fall now, heading towards winter. Everybody's getting sick right now. So this is immune system support, as well as when you are sick, something that you can take to help you. And then like they even have something for immune system support as well. We carry it at the shop also. It's called, I don't even know if I'm saying it right. It's called Pau D'Arco, or Pau D'Arco. I don't know. And that is also, it's a powder form, and that's something that you can add into if you use your frother, you can add it into your, creamer in the morning. But I plan on doing a lot of these things. I'm definitely going to add Mind tomorrow. So I'll keep you posted about that. And they have something I'm trying tonight. I already told Andrew about it. I'm like, you better get everything done. We are going to bed early tonight. This thing called, I don't even know if I'm saying this right, also Malungu. It's called, basically known as Amazonian hypnotic. And it is meant to help you have like the best sleep ever. So I'm down to try this tonight. It was like a teaspoon for like a great night's sleep and a tablespoon to like knock you out for 8 to 10 hours. That's exactly what it says. So I'm going to report back on that one. But these are things that you can call on in your life. Like if you're not feeling good, or if there's something about your life that you want to start to shift, you want to like, I don't like the way I feel with this. I don't like that I'm tired all the time. I don't like that I get sick really easily. All of these things are something that you can shift in your life. It's an energetic thing, right? It's a lack of nutrition or a lack of something energetic in your life that you need, or it's something you really kind of need to heal through, right? So let's start to explore and support with the different things that we have. We talk about crystals so much at the shop because we have a ton of them and we know how amazing they are, but there are other ways that you can ingest it. And I'll never forget something that I learned a long time ago was when you ingest these things, like even if you ingest sage rather than lighting it, and using it around the house, you get so much more energetic protection out of that because it's actually coming like out of your pores. It's in your body. So imagine what it would feel like to continuously ingest the things that are meant for you, that feel good in your body. Obviously, whenever you take these things, you always want to give it a little bit of time and see, what makes you feel good. If something doesn't make you feel good, everybody's going to react differently to things. But for me, these things have been working so amazingly well in my life. And I'm at the point in my life where I don't want anything stopping me from my growth, and from whether that's my, spiritual growth, whether that's my, career growth, whatever that is, I'm not allowing anything to stop me. And that cannot be my whatever it's not gonna be my energy that stops me, is what I'm saying. That's something that's so fixable by shifting things, by adding things into my diet, into my energetic field, and also letting go of the things that don't make me feel good. So maybe not eating certain things all the time, or a lot of something, or maybe certain things like all of a sudden, like it's like random, right? Like certain things. I want you to look at these things because a lot of times we will just continue to have or continue to incorporate it because we always have had this. But like for me, randomly shrimp became a thing. And like every time I ate shrimp, every single time, my body doesn't feel good. It's not that I can't digest it or anything like that. It's like my energetic field doesn't feel good. And I can't tell you why. but it doesn't. And I have to take notice of these things and change how I'm eating, because I'm not having a freaking piece of shrimp weigh me down. I'm not having that shrimp make me not feel good, so I can't be present for my children or present for whatever I need to do. Okay. So I want to point these things out, because as we're going through life, we have to be aware. It's so important that we are aware of these things and giving ourselves the support that we need. Okay. It is that simple. So here's my suggestion to you. Start feeling into these different herbs. So whether you have rosemary at home in, your pantry, take that out, put it in your hand, feel into it. I don't know why I keep saying rosemary, so we're just going to keep going with it, but put it in your hand, like feel into, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel stronger? Does it make you feel protected? What does that feel like for you? And then grab some dried basil, put that in your hand, or grab, whatever, even if it's not dried, and see how that makes you feel. And start exploring what these things feel like to you, and think of ways that you can use them in your everyday life. And then take it the step further and see, what can I ingest here to make my body feel good? So I'm going to say to you, your homework for this podcast episode is to see where you feel depleted or where you're not getting something that you need. Like I knew for me that I was feeling depleted. I needed vitality and I needed, mental clarity for the things that I was doing. So what do you need? Do you need a little bit more like of an open heart? Do you feel like, you just keep getting sick left and right? That then you need immune system support. Do you feel like your nerves are shot? Then you need some nervous system support. Like, what is it that you need right now? And start to explore one thing that could help you to start shifting that energetic frequency for yourself. Okay. All right. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of the Spirit and Soul podcast, and you got some great ideas that you could maybe incorporate, like maybe try a smoothie with these things in it, or maybe, try your creamer for your coffee, or like you try a mana or a magic mind, and see how these things make you feel and how they change your life. All right. Like they've changed mine. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you on the next episode of the Spirit and Soul podcast.